So this is our no-till deer food plot. We're planting Egyptian wheat right now along this fence row, so the neighbors can't see what we got going on in here. It grows probably about 12 foot tall if you fertilize it and everything right, but we're not tilling it under and everything. Oh look, there's deer right there. Huh. Oh, they aren't very happy. See them? Oh no, they're way far out. Never mind. They're running away. Alright. We're starting over here in this corner, this whole fence row. Neighbor's got a little field. We're gonna steal some deer off him, hopefully, with this radish and clover we got up in here. Maybe they'll want some clover. Other than all this, once all that gets picked up, there's a golf ball. All right, well, here I'm at one of our food plots. We're about to plant some brassica. Brassica is really good for late season and early season. They'll eat the leaves off the top of them early, and then later when there's nothing else to eat, they'll go and start eating all the bulbs of all this brassica. What I like to do, it's high in vitamins, keeps the deer healthy, promotes growth, and the deer love it. And we're gonna draw them off this other field we got over here. We just covered the fence row with Egyptian wheat. We're gonna draw them out of that field into our field, hopefully. So all goes to plan with this domain hybrid brassica seed that we've acquired. So like I said, we're spreading brassica right now, good for early season and late season. It stays, it doesn't die, just stops growing. But I've got to plant this whole food plot. You've already planted Egyptian wheat around the edges. I'm just gonna fast forward you guys into a time lapse and just get this over with. I don't want to keep you here all day. All right, ready? Have fun, watch the time lapse. This Ravish radish from Whitetail Institute. This radish is good for the early and late season attraction. It includes proprietary with WNA 412 radish. It establishes and it grows quickly, which you really want because we're planting pretty late here in the season. And it's a great forage for early and through late winter also, because it just grows, and like I said, the bulbs of this radish is what they eat late season. And it's extremely drought and cold tolerant. Like I said, it'll stay all winter. You got food all winter. And it stands tall and stays green. So this is our blind for this food plot here. What you do, since the deer are already used to seeing this giant worn out barn, you just sit back here. You got two walls blocking the sight of any deer that come into this field, and you have a pretty okay view of the entire food plot from here. I don't really think anything's getting into this field without you seeing them. You got the sides open so you can see anything coming from your side. It's pretty legit. This is about how big the food plot is from the edge of the blind. Pretty decent size, pretty okay. You can see out into the neighbor's field too. We're trying to draw them out here, get some stuff planted real early. There's a watering hole directly behind this. So they come down for a drink, come up here, and boom. I mean, can't get much more dead than that.
This is all corn that we broadcasted. Notice how it's not in rows whatsoever. It's all broadcasted. Seems to be doing quite good, quite well. Amazing. We've had a lot of deer in this very field right here.
And if you look over here, last year we planted a bunch of winter rye. It's all went to seed. We're gonna have to mow it if you want to do anything with it. Deer ain't gonna eat it like this. If we mow it, it'll come up real lush and green, and it'll stay green all winter for the deer. So this is gonna be a real attractive winter food plot.
You want that nice tender plant material here for the deer, because they'll eat this stuff. It's just not as good as, let's say, your neighbor's freshly green clover, okay?
And this would also be really good thatch if we wanted to plant anything over it. If we mowed all this down, it'd be a real good seed bed for all the seeds we were gonna plant.
And we actually have a stand right here to look over both of these. Put it in just recently. Got all this cover right here. Just a whole field.
And right in front of us, we have a bean field that we just
tons of options for these deer. This is basically a 5-course buffet for these guys. And that's what we want. We want deer to know that we got food here and just keep coming back week after week until we can finally down one.
We just fertilized this whole field with broadcast fertilized it, and then he sprayed it with fertilized water. What you do is you get fertilizer and you soak it in water, and all the fertilizer will come out of the fertilizer into the water. And then you can just spray it over, and you can also put all your favorite pesticides. It's going to kill everything. One of my favorite blinds personally on this whole plot of land we have here. If you look over there, we got our blind, and over here we have a whole bunch of winter rye. We still need to cut it down. We haven't. We'll mow it. And right in front of all this winter rye, we have a great big enormous clover patch. Deer's favorite food probably is clover. And what's nice about all this winter rye is the deer, they don't get scared. So they'll come all the way up here. It's a nice easy 20-yard shot every time. And like I said, they just love this clover just about more than anything. And then we've got Egyptian wheat right next to our blind, so if we ever need to get out without being seen by some of the deer in the field, there's actually a back entrance on the blind that we can just get out, no deer get spooked. Unless there's any deer behind us, then we're just kind of screwed. But usually there's not. And then, if you walk over here, you can just see how thick and luscious this clover is. This is whitetail institute white clover, probably the deer's favorite, second to red clover. Just take a look how thick this clover is. I mean, this is just insane. We had a real good yield. We just broadcasted this. That's all we did. Fertilized it one time, but usually it fertilizes itself with nitrogen. Here you can see we've also got a little bit of red clover in the mix. Deer also love red clover. It gets real bushy and bushes out in areas like this, but this clover patch is just perfect. You couldn't want anything more. You got our big attractant, that's where deer can bed down all over in this winter rye. And then right before dark, they come here to eat. You can be sitting in that bind with a bow, shotgun, doesn't matter.
This ain't bad. We cross-seeded this last year. That's all rye we let stand. We're just going to mow in about the first week of September or maybe last week of August, and then that'll just be another established rye field. Yeah, that'll be a killer gun stand. We got 5 acres standing beans, 5 acres standing corn. They need sprayed really bad, the corn does. I don't know if it's even going to be savable, but it should be. The deer hit it so hard they pulled all the tassels out of about half of it already, which they did here last year too. Deer numbers on this farm are ridiculous. It's 27 acres and we got 15 acres of food on it. And we shot 3 shooters last year here, first year we ever hunted this farm. So hopefully this year we have the same or maybe better. They're hammering it now. So
I think that'll be it.
yeah, right there. This is the first time we mowed this. We seeded this in with the winter rye last year and let it be a nurse crop to it most of the summer here. And one more mowing and spray this with some quetidem and it's going to be perfect. Be about a little third of an acre maybe. Yeah. The deer already hammering. First night I mowed it, there was 15 or 20 deer right here. It'll be good. Good fun on right past that stand.
We got a stand right over there. Is that one stand that me and Dempsey showed you? Then we got another stand right there. So we've got this field pretty locked down. Feller wouldn't really miss a deer coming in here at all.
All right, we're getting ready to kill some grass in our corn. It got away from us somehow. Anyways, we're putting some Roundup on it. And hopefully that gets it done. We're probably gonna kill some corn, running it over, but better than having a field full of weeds. So you should measure all this, but I left my cup in my other truck. 60
Started off by planting a little strip of Egyptian wheat along this fence on our neighbors because we don't want them to be able to see into our plot. And right after that we went and planted a bunch of brassica. This is our brassica plot, and we planted some 2 bags of radish from Whitetail Institute right in there and sprayed it a little bit with the backpack sprayer, everything we missed with the tractor. And then we went over here about 1 acre away. We went and sprayed all our corn. Our corn's kind of getting overtaken, and all the whitetail are actually eating all the things that make the corn germinate and make corn. But we did broadcast beans through that, and we have a bean field right behind it. So if that doesn't work, we have beans, and then we have a little clover patch that we also sprayed back there. We mowed it about a week ago because we winter seeded it, and now it's weeds growing up through it. And if you mow it and then spray it, the clover will overtake all the weeds, and you just have a nice luscious clover patch. And that's everything we did in today's video. Thank you, and see you next time.